Alright, and we're live. You guys, how's it going? It's your boy Dom, and I'm back with another video. And today is finally MLB opening day after a lot of speculation as to whether the season would happen, and, negotiations, and finally summer, spring trainings. We're finally about 40 minutes away from baseball having a regular season in 2020, which almost didn't happen for the first year since, honestly, I couldn't tell you, like 18 something. And anyway, I decided I would do a fantasy baseball mock draft right now because I've got my fantasy baseball draft later today. Just to clarify, I'm in an 8-team league with my friends from my fraternity at Wazoo, and we've got an 18 league, head-to-head points. I fought the guys. I wanted to keep it so that we could have streaming pitchers, but I think we're limited to 12 starts per week, which I think is pretty. I mean, that's really selective. One of my good friends, who's like the commissioner of the league, he set it up, and we're about to start here. I've got in one that's all auto so that I can just go through it and draft real quick. Anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and jump in this. I'm going to do that. Alright. I don't know how this exactly looks right now. Anyway, Juan Soto with the virus. Unfortunately, with a 60-game season, it's not worth betting on anybody coming back after any time. And I'm just going to go DeGrom there, get myself one of the best pitchers in baseball to start out. I'm really happy with that end of the first round pick. Then I'll pick up Nolan Arenado. Or do I go Verlander? Part of me wants to go Verlander, even though the Astros, man. Can't bet on any Astros this year. Let's go Arenado. I'm not going to bet on Bregman for the same reason. Anyway. So we've got an 18 league set up for 12 starts, limit on 12 starts out of your pitchers each week total, which I think is a little low because if you have 6, that's 2. That's enough. They all get a 2-start week, but I think you'll end up having a little more. We'll see how this ends up working out, though. All right, Pete Alonso here I think is the best hitter. You got 2 Mets already. I'm happy with those 2. Clevinger, I think here, Clev is a good pick for my second pitcher. Tatis is also a really good pick, though. And based on my new setup that's supposed to, he said he was going to weight hitters better than he did last year, which the league was kind of dominated by pitching. And since it's an 18 league, we had all-star infielders like on the waiver wire at points, like Eric Hosmer, good shortstops, stuff like that. Anyway, as long as I don't royally screw up this draft, I'm going to be fine. But I don't know. I want to win this year. So I started out real poor last year. I had like an 0-5 start. Didn't know what I was doing. Didn't set my lineup enough. Drafted way too hitter heavy. Snell's a good pick here. But I had Bell last year and he raked for me. And Tommy Pham is hard to trust because it's, judging that Yankees lineup, man. It might be worth doing that for my first outfielder because I usually end up needing the outfielders. Shoot. It is screwed up. Took me Judge. Okay, good. I accidentally went to my other desktop, but took me Judge anyway. Now here, I think Keston here is a little high here. I think he had a good couple weeks, but I don't think he's this type of player quite yet. I think he's way high on this list, to be honest. And now I'm going to take Snell for my second pitcher. I've got a first baseman in Alonso. I can fill that way later. I can't fill these pitchers up too late. I mean, since we've only got 12 starts out of the pitchers, I need to have elite pitchers at the beginning here. back around to me. Victor Robles is a good pick for second outfielder. Matt Chapman, I think, is a really star player. He might be the best player available. Aaron Nola, though, for a third pitcher. It's hard to turn down Aaron Nola. And I'm going to take him. Castellanos is a good pick in the Reds lineup. I think he's a little bit high, though. Joey Gallo. Texas isn't going to be great. He might be worth that spot, though. Because he's going to rake. You know he's going to rake. Strikeouts could be high, though. Gallo as an outfielder, I like, though. Do I like Gallo or Castellanos more? This is a good choice that I have to make. And since Cincinnati's going to be such a good team, I'm going to go Castellanos. He's also real consistent. He's a good doubles hitter, if anything. He's a good slap guy. Fielding can be an issue with him, but that doesn't matter in fantasy. Only matters in real life. And I'm gonna do some more stuff on this channel. I've really hit some ruts with YouTube, as you could tell if you've been viewing my videos. But I'm gonna start getting some content up here. I'm not gonna jinx it. Not gonna say too much. Liam Hendricks is a good pick here for relief pitcher, especially the way relief pitchers are gonna be useful. Okay. Jansen did down here. I'm gonna try to take Jansen next. I think Osuna. I don't trust any Astros, and I can't bring myself to root for him. We'll go Hendricks. Just because Laureano's a good pick too. I hate the A's. I have a hard time rooting for him. Moustakas. I don't have a second baseman, so Moustakas could be a good pickup. Benintendi is going to be one of the better hitters on that team. McNeil here, man. Jansen, McNeil are really good players, though. Jansen's going to get a ton of saves. And McNeil's such a good hitter. I picked up McNeil last year, and he's such a beast. I'd actually wish I ended it. I wish I had realized, and I would have not taken Liam Hendricks. I would have taken him instead. The way we've got it set up, we've got 6 pitcher slots, just straight pitcher, I think, and then we've got 2 relief pitcher, I think, designated. So Bauer, I'll take him. Best player available. I think I missed. There's a bunch of good players that just got taken yet. Tim Anderson, Jose Barrios, Luis Robert. David Dahl's a good third outfielder. Seager, David Dahl's a good third outfielder. I love James Paxton. I'd be loading up on pitching early. Knowing that I can get those infielders later. Well, might as well revert back to David Dahl's a good third outfielder, and the Coors Field effect is always going to keep him, from being terrible. Always hit some home runs, always have some pop. And the Rockies lineup, it really is pretty good. Story and Arenado and all that. Blackman even. Luzardo, he's ranked pretty high here as a relief pitcher, but I totally get why. He was on my watch list for all of last year. Soroka, I think, is a low-ranked player. I think he might be the best. Ooh, but I'm tempted to take Carlos Santana, hoping that he would have a good season the way he did last year. But is it worth it over Mike Soroka? I think it's not, because I want to load up on pitching early. Since we're in an 8-team league, we can still get those hitters on the waiver wire. How did Max Free go before Mike Soroka? That's something that doesn't make sense to me. No. No, he went right after. No, he went right before. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense to me. Justin Turner, he's a Dodger, and he's going to hit for a high average. He's a really safe hitter. I mean, unless he gets, God forbid, he gets coronavirus, which we hope happens to nobody here. And I hope this is looking good. It looks like it's looking good here. Yep. Alright. Anyway. Alright, comes back around to me. I could use 2 more outfielders, some infielders. I'm pitcher heavy. That's what I want to be. I like Lorenzo Cain. I think he's a little underrated here. I think he'll have more points than they're projecting him to. If I can get Polanco here, I think Polanco was one of the best slap hitters in baseball last season. And after seeing him from a really good angle right behind the plate, I think he's really good. I'm totally comfortable taking him as I think he's going to be like an elite hitter again. At least a top 100 player in baseball. And coming back around, yeah. Malik Smith, I think, is a little low. I mean, he's the highest Mariner. Just at 174. Obviously hurts me, but it is what it is. So, Sean Manaea feels like the best player available again, because Segura, I really don't need him in my utility, especially day-to-day. I want guys who I think are going to play the full season somehow, some way, even though that's hard to bet on. Salvador Perez is also, since everybody needs to have a catcher. Last year, everybody in my league dropped their catchers who didn't have one of the better ones because, they would keep streaming pitchers since there was no limit on starts per week or anything. Trying a different thing this year. And I'm going to take Malik Smith because I'd rather root for him than a Yankee. And there's no guarantee Aaron Hicks is even going to play every day. His defense is going to keep him in the lineup. Okay, I got to go Malik Smith because I got to go for my team. That's the way I draft here. I want to root for my players throughout the season. I don't want to hate myself for having my team do well or, I'm not going to regret not drafting Aaron Hicks. I got Aaron Judge. Yeah. I'm not that starved. Alright. Hosmer, Votto, I think they still have gas left in the tank. I think this is low for them. Edman, I think, is a good player around this position if you still really need one of these infield spots. But I don't think he's nearly as good as these two, and I don't think he's worth reaching for or worth putting in your utility. So I think you should try to go for someone better. Luke Voigt might be a good utility. He is an all-star. I mean, Joey Votto, Hosmer also would. I'm going to go Votto because I think that the Reds are going to be good. I've already got Castellanos and a couple other guys. I could get one of these bench hitters too, but I don't need him. Gavin Lux could be a good... he might be worth a shot at second just because that way, now my infield is filled. I can take pitchers from here on out. The way things are, I might even rotate a few bench outfielder. Jeff McNeil types that have all those eligibility spots, like outfield, second, third, first. If you can, you can do a lot with your lineup that way. And for, Voigt only has first base eligibility, so it can only fit into those 3 slots. First, third, and utility. Draft neck mark notification coming on. Man, I don't like these picks. I'll take Caleb Smith. He's a strikeout machine. I think he's ranked really low here, actually. He's a sleeper. Luke Voigt at this point is a really good hitter. Um, don't need him. Nick Senzel down there. If he's an everyday outfielder, that's not a bad shout. And that's who I'm going to do. 6 outfielder. Oh, Alex Verdugo's criminally low at 226. Alex Verdugo is criminally low because I don't think he's going to platoon like he did last year or at all in general. Did he go? Let's see if he goes before me. So I'm going to go outfielder heavy this time. I'm going to take 7 outfielders. I'm not going to rotate them in if they're not playing or whatever. Just check my lineup. Andujar, I don't like with just DH. He's going to get more than just DH eligibility quickly. That's something to remember. He might have first, second, and third. Ooh, but Hunter Dozier, I mean, is going to be a good player coming back. Luis Arias. Dylan Bundy's, I mean, yeah, we're getting to the low point of pitchers. You know, and I haven't taken a pitcher in forever. I'll take Bundy for that last pitcher spot. I mean, that last spot after this just has to be an infielder, I guess. It doesn't really matter because I can always pick somebody up off waivers. Nico Goodrum's eligibilities make him look good. But those can always change, and I mean, Detroit's going to be bad again. I think I saw Aaron Savali. Maybe I'll take Aaron Savali for or Miles Mikolas. Yeah, I'll take Aaron Savali for my last pick. And now we can go through DeGrom, Arenado, Alonso, Tatis, Judge, Snell, Nola, Castellanos, Hendricks, Jensen, Bauer, Dahl, Soroka, Turner, Kane, Polanco, Perez, Smith, Votto, Lux, Smith, Senzel, Verdugo, Bundy, Savali. I think I did pretty well. Let's go through look at this roster a little bit. So from the infield, I got Perez, Alonso, Lux, Arenado, Tatis, Polanco, Turner. All those are consistent hitters. Most of them are on good teams. Lux and Turner are both in the Dodgers lineup, so I know that they're going to, do well regardless. Alonso and Arenado and Tatis are all stars, whether the teams they play for are going to do well or not. Tatis might. And same thing with Polanco to a lesser extent. I mean, I think the Twins are also going to be good. Alonso, and then Perez is just one of the better catchers in baseball, more consistent. It's a good, reliable backstop to have hidden for a decent average, decent power. Then my outfield, I've got Judge, who I got around the 40s, 50s. That's like a lottery pick, kind of, with his injury concerns and things. But if it works out, that could win me the league. And that's the type of picks you want. You want to bet on shit like that, like Aaron Judge doing what he did a couple years ago, because there's a good chance that happens. He's got all the tools to do it. The Yankees lineup, he just has to stay healthy, and that's not the hardest thing to happen. If it doesn't happen, you can't blame yourself for that, for not seeing that happen. Castellanos, Reds lineup, good hitter, good enough to where he's not going to be trash. He's still like 27 or so, like he's going to improve a little bit. His bat's always been good, always had talent. Then Dahl, in Coors Field, Rockies lineup, and he's a good hitter. Like he's always been a real good hitter. Kane, all-star. Come on, Lorenzo Cain's a really, really good player. I think he's low. I think his bat's gonna stay all right. With Yelich, like him and Yelich are really gonna tighten up, and I think he's one of the main players, like leaders on that team besides Yelich. And Malik Smith, I gotta have a Mariner on this team. Gotta have a Mariner on every team I draft. And Malik Smith is usually the only one. One of the only ones who's even, considerable to draft at this point. Because all the other ones are gonna be on waivers when the season starts, and I'm okay with that because I can pick them up just a little before everybody else. But yeah, and he's obviously steals a million bases as well. Joey Votto in utility. Reds are great. Votto's a future Hall of Famer in my book. That's a really safe bet to play all 60 games too. That is to me what I want in my utility spot. Production. And then my pitcher, I went heavy early, so I think with the 12 start limit, this is a pretty good lineup. And I took 2 relievers just for the hell of it, which means I have what? I'll go through and count. I gotta plug my Mac in real quick. It's being good to me. Sometimes it really buzzes loudly, the fan, when I'm making videos, but it's doing well right now. But then see DeGrom and Snell. DeGrom, Snell, Nola. Those are my 3 top, all-star caliber pitchers, starting pitchers. I mean, Bauer and Soroka are both potential all-stars, and if you ask me, Smith is possible, but probably not likely. But Bauer and Soroka definitely. So I've got 5, with DeGrom, Snell, Nola, Bauer, Soroka. I've got 5 starting pitchers that are all-star caliber, or at least close. I think very good. Good starting pitchers, consistent. I'll start him every time. Caleb Smith, I'll start every time. Dylan Bundy and Aaron Savali are the only ones maybe I wouldn't start every time. And this is all subject to change, because baseball is a game where you take it day by day. And you go throughout the season. It's long, but that's why we love it. It's part of it. Senzel and Verdugo are my 2 bench players. They're both outfields here, but for Senzel, I'm pretty sure had second base eligibility last year. Could easily get that again. That would be plug-in. Could fit into a couple more spots that way. And Verdugo, I don't think he'll, end up playing first or third for the Red Sox, or second for that matter, but you never know. But I think he's a really good player at 226. The Red Sox wouldn't have traded Mookie Betts. They wouldn't have had him as the main player piece in that deal if they didn't think he was worth something. They're getting a guy who is going to sit in there and at least hit for average, and at least hit for some. He's gonna hit, not like Mookie, but he's gonna hit, and there's production to be filled there. And he's in the Red Sox lineup, but they're not going to be that bad, even if. So, and then Aaron Savali finally, just as a last starting pitcher, because he could turn out to be good, and if he's playing against the worst lineups, he's definitely going to be a 20-pointer or so guy. With that being said, thank you for watching. That has been today's mock draft. Shout out to everybody who's jumped in the stream. I'm going to see you guys later today. I'm going to have some real videos out about the MLB. Anyways, that's been it.